so easy every day. Living in Lubbock, the one and only LBK. We got rock and roll, we got the blues, two-stepping in the honky-tonks and our cowboy boots. Through the dust in review mirror you can see our rhythm and roots. Rhythm and Welcome to another episode of LBK Rhythm and Roots Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Robertson. Today we're inside Studio 1314 in downtown Lubbock and Citizens Tower, and I'm here with Mr. Jerry Serrano. Jerry, thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. For those of you who may not know who Jerry is a local performer. He's also a instructor at South Plains College of Music, among many other things, which we'll get into. So, Jerry, let's first talk about, are you from Lubbock originally?
I'm originally from Plainview.
Okay, yeah. Nice. So it's still West Texas?
Yep. Just right up the highway, I-27.
So when did your musical career start? Did you grow up in a family of musicians, or?
Somewhat. My older sisters were in band, but not like serious like performers in a career kind of a thing. My dad played some trombone in high school, and he still had it, and I have it now. But I remember before I knew anything was trying to make any kind of noise out of it once in a while. Try to do the Looney Tunes, But that was my first memory with that. And also sitting in church and listening to the music and playing the air piano, trying to, pretend I was playing along.
So how did your music career start? Did you, along that path, did you just discover that that's something you wanted to do? Was it something that kind of was always inside of you that you were drawn to?
Yeah, so when I was that young, I knew I wanted to play music. And so I had friends that had pianos, and I wanted a piano, but the best we could do was a little keyboard, like one of those little bitty ones. I got one of those for Christmas in the first grade, and I kind of started listening and to the sounds that each note made, and try to figure out melodies that were playing on the radio. Do it that way.
So just learning by ear,
yeah,
and trying to match it with some key tones.
Yeah, trying to figure out if it was the note that I was hearing is what they were singing, and try to figure out, get melodies that way. And I was always jealous of my friends that had piano lessons, but most of them didn't want piano lessons. They were like, man, I have to do this piano stuff. I'm like, man, you're lucky.
Yeah. Wish you had those lessons.
Yeah.
So did it just culminate naturally for you? Were you just one of these musicians that has always played by ear and then eventually went into formal training?
Yeah. I mean, that's what I was doing. And I got a slightly bigger keyboard a few years later, and it kind of developed from there. I got in a band in the 6th grade, and from there I learned what those dots on a staff meant, and what an eighth note and quarter note, and how to read music, and it kind of grew out of that world.
Was music easy for you to read? Was that something that came naturally to you? I know some guys that I talk to are like, man, it's been difficult for me to learn, and some people it comes easy to them. For me, it's been difficult.
No, it wasn't. I wouldn't say that it was immediately easy. It's just kind of like learning a new language.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit at a time to figure out.
So what was your first band?
First band that we buddies that got together. So I was really into Nirvana, and then this was the 90s, right? So there was Nirvana and Soundgarden and Stone Temple Pilots, and so I was huge into Nirvana. So I got a guitar in the 8th grade, a little pawn shop guitar for $40, and one of my buddies had guitar lessons, so he would show me a couple of things that he learned, and then I would go look at the Guitar World magazines and try to figure stuff out. And he lived across the street from me, so we had another buddy that lived on the other block around from us who played drums. So we would get together at my across the street friend's house, and he would bring the drums over there, and we would just play loud and nasty and had fun.
Did y'all have a name?
I think we were called Lithium
Oh, that's awesome.
after the Nirvana song.
Yeah. What kid in the 90s that doesn't inspire to be a musician does not like Nirvana? I mean, that was like the pinnacle of the 90s. So from that, I mean, did it just kind of go from there? Did you play all through high school in a band, or?
Yeah, so that band went through high school. Some of those friends decided to pursue other things. And I think my junior or senior year I started a different bands that was more like, do you remember that band, Big Bad Voodoo Daddy or Squirrel Nut Zippers?
They were just at Cactus like this last
That's
year.
right. Yeah, and I was so bummed I wasn't able to
I
go.
know, me too.
But so we started I started transcribing some of those tunes off the record and writing some of my own music as well. And it was that kind of a band with a horn section. I sang, and then there was a trombone. There were a couple of saxes, and I played trumpet and sang, and then guitar, piano, bass, drums.
Is that where you draw some of your influences from, like Big Voodoo Daddy, like some of those type groups?
Yeah. So my first big experience when I was a kid with jazz music was when one of my sisters had a school project on Louis Armstrong. And so she got a greatest hits cassette tape to go along with her presentation to play, I guess, like while she talked about him. And so she finished her project and the tape was sitting at the house. So I kind of repossessed that thing. It became my cassette tape. And I would listen to that over and over. And this was maybe fourth grade, fourth grade. When I started really getting into that. And so then I was like, I want to sound like that. So when I got into band in the 6th grade, I still had that cassette. I would try to imitate what he was playing off the cassette tape.
So as you were playing through high school, were you playing piano and guitar and some horns? I mean, were all those things kind of intermingled, or were you focusing on one or the other at that time? Because, I mean, I know you're a multi-instrumentalist now. I mean, you play several different instruments. So was that something that you've always kind of worked on, or?
Yeah. Probably at the time I was focused more heavily on, well, I know it's hard to say because I still played a lot of guitar. Probably more so guitar and trumpet playing or euphonium, because I also played euphonium in band. So I did euphonium in the concert band, trumpet in the jazz band, and then I had the garage band with guitar and singing.
The grunge?
Yeah.
What style of music did y'all play? Was it mostly grunge type music?
Oh, yeah. And alternative, like Better Than Ezra, and we covered some... I can't even remember, Till I Hear It From You, or who was that band? Gin Blossoms?
Yeah, Gin Blossoms. I bet that was fun.
Yeah.
I bet that was a fun little band.
Yeah.
So as you kind of progressed through high school, was college always on your mind? I mean, was music school something you wanted to pursue, or kind of how did that go for you?
Yeah, I always wanted to do music school, but I wasn't sure exactly within music what I wanted to do, because I didn't want to be a band director. You're kind of limited if you don't want to do that and you go to college. So I pursued music composition because I really enjoyed writing music, writing songs, writing instrumental music, notating music. One of my bands, the latter one of my high school time, I would notate instrumentals, and we would do original instrumental stuff too.
So I want to ask you something about something you said. You know, when you said you always knew you wanted to go to music school, but you weren't sure what kind of direction you wanted to go. I know you also teach at South Plains. Do you find that a lot of students are in that same boat, that they know they have a passion and love for music, but maybe they're just don't have the direction of a path? Is that a pretty common thread? You think?
I would think so. I guess now I would consider that non-traditional, someone who wants to go into a higher learning environment. At the time, I chose to go to tech because I wanted a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
And at the time, there wasn't a way, like, say, if I did go to South Plains, there wasn't a way like there is now. There's an applied commercial music degree that you can get through from South Plains to tech and maintain and get a bachelor's that way. But that wasn't around 24 years ago.
Okay. So is that also what you guys do at the school, at the College of Music over there at South Plains? I mean, you guys help direct people in the direction. I mean, you have ensemble and all the different degree. So I mean, that's kind of what you guys do, is help people find the direction that they
Exactly,
fit.
yeah. People go into careers as touring musicians. They go into sound production. Some of them get nice jobs working in studios. Once you kind of see the different possibilities, I didn't really know when I was coming in out of high school, all the different little areas that you can get into. It's pretty cool.
I bet it is. So you started at Tech, finished at Tech, and then did you have aspirations of being a touring musician, or kind of what were your plans after you finished up? Did you always want to teach?
Yeah, in a way, but I wasn't sure how, because I didn't want to do band, like the traditional band director thing. But I've always enjoyed it. My first job when I graduated was working at a bicycle shop, though. So that was something. At the time, I loved it, though, because I was kind of burned out with just being in the music school all day, every day, nothing but music. And I'm like, I want to do something else for a little bit. And so I worked on bikes and sold bikes and did that for a few years. And got into library. I did the children's programs at the Patterson Branch Library for a number of years, and taught music at the Guadalupe Parkway Neighborhood Centers for about 7 years. And this whole time I'm still performing music in different bands. And I did a little bit of touring over the years with various bands, but, I guess I didn't find something that really like fit with me.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, I like not having to be stuck in a smelly van all day and play a 90-minute set and then go sleep on somebody's couch that I don't know. And that started to kind of get old,
Yeah. Well, missing the wife and family back home.
Now there's that, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you've worked your way through teaching all these years, how did you come into the South Plains program? Have you been friends with some of those guys a long time, or? I've
known everybody there for a long time. Because in this area, everybody that plays music knows each other.
Yeah.
And so my jazz bands that I play in, Alma Quartet, the bass player is John Reed, and he's been at South Plains for over 30 years now. But I met him through my buddy in my high school band, a bass player, went to South Plains, and John was his teacher, so he told me about the place, and I went around and checked it out a little bit when he was there. But I tried to get in there at least 3 other times. One of them stuck.
How long have you been there now?
Just finished year number 2.
All right, man. So what all are you teaching over there? What classes are kind of you responsible for?
Mainly I'm dealing with private lessons. So songwriting, voice, piano, and I have a vocal ensemble that I work with and a praise band.
Oh, very nice. I bet that's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, man. Really cool. Getting to put arrangements together, seeing how students can grow. Being in an environment where you can learn what it takes to be in a band and how to organize things where we know exactly what we're doing at each section of the song. That type of stuff is really helpful for people who haven't played in a band. It's kind of like being in marching band in school, but you get to play like Pink Floyd or, various different types of genres depending on the band.
Well, I've known several other musicians that have graduated from South Plains, And all of them have told me that it was absolutely the best thing they could have done for their career. You know, every one of them talked about the growth, about how they immediately started getting better at their instrument, you know, playing with people that are better than them, you know, learning to perform. So what you guys do over there is a beautiful thing, man. I think it's a very, very beautiful thing that you guys do. I think it helps this music community tremendously because there's a lot of kids that come out of that and start gigging in Lubbock.
Oh yeah, yeah. Or go on the road pretty quickly.
That's right.
One of our students that just left South Plains is now touring with Cirque du Soleil as a singer performer.
That's cool to see, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that probably the biggest reward for you, is to see these kids blossom and mature into
It's super cool. Yeah. It's such an inspiration, you know, even for me at an older age guy, seeing someone with all that skill go out there and get it done, you know. It's really neat to see.
Well, and to see somebody latch onto their dream and chase it and being able to actually live it out, that's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's move on to, let's talk about some of the bands you're playing in. The Alma Quartet. So who's all a part of that?
So there's me, there's John Reed, JT Paz, and Charles Whitehead.
All very accomplished guys in their own right. Yeah. I've never seen you guys play, but I've heard little clips. It's an incredible little band.
Thank you.
Well, you guys play around town quite a bit?
Around town in Amarillo area.
Okay. Very
Canyon.
nice. You've got your own little solo thing that you do. I've seen that before. Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. I love your songs, by the way. I love your songwriting style.
Thanks.
Yeah. You're also part of the Hub City Drifters.
Yep.
That's a wild bunch of guys, isn't it?
Yeah, we have a lot of fun though. I think I just maybe I made it a year and a half now so far, something around there. I was just I volunteer for whenever there's something at the Silent Wings Museum and they need somebody to play taps. I played taps for them, and I was walking to the parking lot and I saw a call. So I think it was Jay Saldana. Or no, it was Danny Stodger. So Danny calls me and says, hey, bud, I'm thinking about, the way Danny talks. If you're interested in playing keys. And I'm like, man, that sounds like a lot of fun. Because I like them. You know, I really love classic country music. And but I've never really dove into classic country music. So I'm like, man, that would be a lot of fun figuring this stuff out. And it has been lots of fun.
Have you really enjoyed that?
Yeah.
Kind of breaks up the other genres of music that you do, I'm sure.
Well, and it's like another place for keys to be out there. I feel like there's not that many keys players out there. And within classic country, there's that Floyd Cramer thing. It's like, man, that just makes it even better. Like, they already have an amazing pedal steel player with the keys right there kind of filling in that other like niche side of instruments that you don't often hear. Now, if only we had a fiddle player. That's what I keep saying.
Got to have a fiddle in the band.
Yeah.
What a great band, though. Yeah, great band. I really enjoy watching you guys. So you also have been hosting the Songwriter Night at the Blue Light for quite a while now. So how long have you been the guy over there?
Since 2016, so 8 years, something like that. What's the math on that?
That's 8 years, man.
8 years.
Has it flown by?
It's hard to believe that I've been there that long, but when you start think about it, it's like every couple of years there's a whole new crop of songwriters. It's just about, there are people that have been around and have careers, but they'll still pop in from time to time, But as far as the young students, they'll come in, they'll play their songs and they'll graduate, they'll go on the road. Some of them will start a band. Some of them will, get into the family job or whatever it is. But it's neat to kind of watch that tide turn of generations.
Well, and I think what you guys do over there, I mean, obviously it has been a platform for guys to, number one, learn how to perform their original stuff, get their feet wet, and also hone their craft. I mean, I see guys in there that come in and try new songs there.
Sure.
That's where they try new stuff.
Yeah.
And I think it's a platform that has been able to pump out some really big talent. I mean, a lot of big talents come through there.
Yeah. You'll find what works. You'll find what needs work. You'll find what to throw away. If you see people start walking outside when you're playing, like,
Yeah.
there's something to that, But also, I tell them, people that have a ambition with it, but they have that kind of stage fright. I get so nervous. I get so that the more reps that you put in, it's going to eventually turn into your living room if you do it enough. And once you get into that feeling, it's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
And you can work your way up as an opening act. Eventually get yourself a weekend if you do well enough at it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that fear is something that probably everybody that has played music on stage has dealt with.
Yeah.
And it affects your performance.
Sure.
I mean, it completely engulfs you and you're not able to perform your best. And it's something, and you can always tell when somebody's got the shakes,
Oh, yeah.
And, but the great thing about it is that thing is such an open, no judgment. I mean, it's welcome to anybody, and that's what I love about it. I think that's a great thing. How long has that songwriter night been going? Do you know?
I believe since 2009. And Brandon Adams, I don't know if you know Brandon.
Yeah.
I believe he was the first host, and from there it's kind of gone through various people over the years.
And then you've had your tenure now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost 10 years.
Is that one of your favorite things to do?
Oh, I love it. I wouldn't still be there if I didn't.
Yeah.
They make for some early mornings during the school year.
I bet.
It's a little hard sometimes, but I love it. I enjoy it immensely.
Do you ever cap it? I mean, do you ever say, okay, we've got to stop the sign up list? Have you ever had a night?
Oh, no. I want more, Our record so far is 25 songwriters in one night.
Wow, that's a lot.
And but we did have to go to one song a person just to get everybody on there. But I make sure that everybody that signs up gets to play.
That's awesome, man. Well, you do a really great job hosting that. I've come and participated in it, and I think it's a beautiful thing, man.
Thanks.
So I always ask all our guests this: if there's an aspiring, and you're one I really want to hear the answer. If there's an aspiring artist out there, somebody coming up who's watching or listening, that would need some advice, they're wanting to start this career and they're not really sure what they need to do, what advice maybe would you give them to kind of give them that next little step of confidence or something that they could do to maybe start honing their craft?
I would say just put in the time. Put the reps in, go to all the open mics that you can, meet people, introduce yourself to everyone else, be friendly with all the other performers, and say if it's something like the open mics that have bands, get used to playing with other musicians for sure.
Yeah. That's great advice, man. What's the future look like for you? Are you dug your heels in over at South Plains and you got a happy home over there? Is that going to be a long tenured thing for you think?
Well, I mean, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying my time there, but I'm also still creating and writing and traveling to get out of town and to play music. I got some dates in the DFW area.
Oh, nice.
This next 6 months, a few times up there, and so I still have my own ambitions outside of teaching as far as being an artist.
Absolutely. How's your stuff that you're doing here? Are you recording anything new? Are you writing new material for any albums or anything? Because you got several out.
I've got a few. I've got a Alma Quartet album out. That's the jazz album, and I have my self-titled. Well, it's under my name called The Moon, and I started working on an album, and then the old COVID thing happened, and so I've got a few that are halfway done. I'm starting to think I just maybe want to do just put out singles, because it gets pricey when you start to stack all these songs on top of each other.
Yeah. Studio time's not cheap, is it?
Yeah, no, sure ain't.
Well, and then the marketing and trying to get it pushed out there.
So I'm thinking maybe singles are the next move.
For anybody watching or listening, if you've not seen the Jerry Serrano shirts that he has for sale, you've got to buy one. I've got to have one. It says Jerry Serrano, and it's got a big Serrano pepper across it. I love it, man. Where can they buy those if anybody's looking for one?
Message me online or find me at a show.
Okay, perfect. Where can we find your show schedule? Do you post on social media?
I do Jerry Serrano music. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, all that, Twitter, X, whatever it's called nowadays.
How often are the Drifters playing? Are y'all once a month at the Blue Light?
So we
now?
are every last Wednesday at Blue Light, and it's an early show. Doors at 8, music at 8:30. We've got a lot of fans above 40, so they like that early hour, and we have a great time.
Well, and I've noticed y'all started bringing in some people to play after for maybe the later crowd.
Exactly,
That's
yeah.
great that y'all are doing that.
So my other band has done that a few times, and it's been cool.
I bet it
while
has.
I'm out, I may as well do my other thing too. So that's been a real treat.
Let's talk songwriting for a minute. Your process, I love talking songwriter processes with other songwriters. Are you one of these guys that writes and then you go put melodies to words, or are you a music guy where you're coming up with melodies and then the words, or is it kind of a combination for you? Do you have a set thing that you
It's kind of a combination nowadays, but it tends to lean more on the musical idea first.
Mm-hmm.
But nowadays, I feel like I'm starting to feel more lyrics. So when I was younger, it used to be always music. There was this cool riff or something like that, and then it kind of went from there. But nowadays, it's maybe because I'm doing a lot of other, like driving to work or mowing the lawn. I'll have like a lyrical idea, and so I've got in my phone, I've got all these little memos of like, this line would be cool. I just got to find out what to do with it. Mm-hmm. But I also have little voice memos that are like da 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 da. You know, I'll sing some little ditty that I thought was an interesting little line.
Yeah.
On the to-do list of song ideas.
You know, Willie Nelson, in an interview he did, I heard him say that the best way to write a song is take a drive.
Yep.
Yeah, so that may explain why you're coming up with lots of lyrics, lots of road time, you know.
Exactly, yeah. Music, radio off, just hearing the, it really gets you thinking. Same thing with mowing the lawn.
It does.
Thing.
Well, and I think there was something I read where, you know, when you're occupied doing a task that you can almost do, you know, blindfolded, certain part of your brain is occupied and it unlocks that creative portion, you know. And I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but I listen to a lot of podcasts, so you never know what's.
Well, that's pretty cool. I never thought about that.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate you doing this today. We're about to have a little private concert with Jerry. You can find where Jerry's playing at Jerry Serrano Music, all social media platforms. Please go find him and buy a T-shirt. Everybody's got to have one of the cool Serrano Pepper T-shirts. You can watch these episodes on the City of Lubbock's YouTube channel or on their TV station, My LBK Connect. They're also available audio where any podcaster streams. So appreciate you tuning in. Another great guest this week, Jerry Serrano. You guys, if you haven't seen him, you need to go check him out. Everything that I've ever seen him done is absolutely incredible. One of the best musicians in town. Thank you, Jerry.
Thank you.
All right, stay tuned for some Jerry Serrano music.
Hi, my name's Jerry Serrano. This is called Living Easy. Got no shame upon my back. You wouldn't know a thing about that. Working proud, walking tall. There's no greater thing to do than leaving you in my review. My hands are clean, my tank is full. Letting go, the anchor wouldn't budge. Set sail, doing what I love. It's me and my blue jeans, my Dodge and Dos Equis. Living's easy when you're living easy. passion and sawdust, swinging hammer to a nail. But until I'm in the ground, I'll be around until the sun goes down. Never going back to your jail. Letting go, the anchor wouldn't budge. Set sail, doing what I love. It's me, my blue jeans, my Dodge and those keys. Living's easy when you're living easy. Living's easy when you're living easy. Thank you. All right, this one is called, which one should it be? This song is called Come What May. Find no Nikolai with what is fickle. If you want it, you gotta try. Come what may, come what may. If you have enough oppression's permanent depression, don't let them hold you down. Come with me, come with me. Oh my dear, when I fall from her, not this time. I got strength to help me up. Oh, turn another corner, cross every border, step in victory. Come with me, ooh, come with me. Oh my dear, when I fall for her, not this time. I got strength to help me up. Oh, turn another corner, cross every border, step is a victory. Come with me, ooh, come with me, come with me. Come with me. Thank you. Let's see. Just doing a bunch of. These are all newer ones that I wrote within this past year.
That's a great groove you got going on.
Thanks, man.
I love it.
Let's see. This one's a little bit older. Called Landlocked. Keeping lonely, it's not hard to tell. I'd rather be right here by myself. Strum my guitar, drive a car who knows how far, singing eagle's wings float over neglected things and shake things out. Let the guys get away. Landlocked heart, landlocked soul, living in a landlocked place. Landlocked heart, landlocked soul, living in a landlocked place. Mile after mile, it gets easier to smile. Take a country road, oh, follow it wherever it goes, and shake things out. Hit the gas, get away. Landlocked heart, landlocked soul, living in a landlocked place. Landlocked heart, landlocked soul, living in a landlocked place. Landlocked heart, landlocked soul, living in a landlocked place. Thank you very much. Let's see, I'll do this one. So I have an old Dodge truck. It's not super old, it's an 02, but I'm around 276,000 miles. So it's needed some work over the years. And I used to have, one of the things that I've done, one of the many things that I've had to do on it was replace the muffler because it had this rusty, I guess it was rusted out. And so it kind of rattled it around when I would drive. So I was doing that, and I got this inspiration to write just like a funny, like kind of a country funny song about being frustrated with your having to work and fix stuff, but then like it's okay because we're gonna go out dancing, later kind of thing. This is called A Whole Lot of Working. Been a whole lot of working for a whole lot of nothing a day. Gas gets busted, tie rod rusted, okay. A light been shot, the tires got right, I say. It's been a whole lot of working for a whole lot of nothing a day. Well, I love my truck, but it's a little bit much to say. Muffler's rusted, you can hear me rattle up the street. Now fix the AC, the belt sounds like a banshee. Been a whole lot of working for a whole lot of nothing a day. But it's alright, cause I'm dancing with my baby tonight. Now I'm feeling me, and I might even make a scene. Oh, I knew it was a day when righty-tighty broke it loose. Lost a bolt in the head, at least I found the busted fuse. Well, taking off a quartz spring pill outside in the news. It's been a whole lot of nothing and I'm getting ready to lose. But it's alright, cause I'm dancing with my baby tonight. I'm feeling me, I might even make a scene. I'm alright, cause I'm dancing with my baby tonight. I'm feeling me, and I might even make the scene. Thank you very much. Is that good?
Yeah, if you're good, if you want to do one more.
How many was that?
That was 4.
Okay, and you said 4?
4 or 5, whatever you want to do.
I'll do one more.
Yeah, please.
Check this. This song is called Curtain Call. Driving down a bumpy road, it's been too many years. Shake and shimmy in the cold, shifting through the gears. Pulled into a driveway smelling brisket barbecue. But there's a voice inside me saying we're just missing you. Well, there's a spot where roses bloom and peaches fill the air. Fresh cut lawn and stories told, porch and rocking chair. But seasons change and stories end and flowers fade and fall. Time is never long enough when your curtain falls. Curtain fall, cold as rain, big and small, no escape. Curtains fall on everyone. Before your curtain starts to fall, be ready for your curtain call. Baby children spreading cheer and running through the house. Football game, nobody cares, and I'm just looking out. I bet that many people think you gotta get it all, but you can't take anything when your curtain falls. Curtain fall, cold as rain, big and small, no escape. Curtains fall on everyone. Before your curtain starts to fall, be ready for your curtain call. Curtain fall, cold as rain, big and small, no escape. Curtains fall on everyone. Before your curtain starts to fall, be ready for your curtain call. Thank you all.